Well, what do you think, Amanda? Should we get this show on the road?
Yeah, let's do it. And I'll keep an eye on it and see if anybody else tries to log in. So thank you.
Okay.
Thanks everyone for joining us today. This is the ACST webinar for March. Can you believe it? 3 months into the year already. It's going fast. So this month's topic is about ClosetCon, which is coming up next month already, believe it or not, in just a few weeks here. So hopefully you've all already registered and you just want to know what the deal is and what you need to learn while you're there. And so that's what Laurel and I are going to walk through. If you
Hi,
haven't
everybody.
if you haven't registered yet, we will have that promo code for you at the end. So stay tuned. All right, Laurel. Thank you.
Okay. So just to familiarize anyone who doesn't know, the show is in West Palm Beach, Florida. It's a short cab ride or Uber ride from the airports, 10, 15 minutes max, pretty cheap. And it's a great location, but we'll get into that a little bit more. The dates are the 12th through the 14th of April, which is basically 4 weeks from today. And the 12th is an all-day conference program, plant tour, reception, and then on Thursday and Friday is the expo plus some value-added keynotes and some events taking place on the show floor. So we'll move to the next slide. So where design meets manufacturing, this tagline came from way back when we had added the cabinet side to the closet side, because we started seeing so much crossover between people who did cabinet manufacturing and people who did closets. They were doing each other's projects and they wanted to learn more and be better at both. So there's a real synergy between the cabinet guys and the closet companies. So the design part obviously is, to design a kitchen or a master bedroom closet or a garage project requires some really good design skills and a great eye for space. Whereas the manufacturing side, if you're going to be a manufacturer, the best way to be profitable is to have the best machinery that can do multiple functions and do it fast and not create a lot of waste. So we bring the industrial, the woodworking, manufacturing side with our running machinery pavilion. And then on the other half, we have a lot of products for the designer, which is your hardware, your laminates, your board products, everything you need to make your projects better. And the event has there's lots of networking opportunities, and we'll talk a little bit more about that, but sometimes you learn just as much from talking to your peers as you do attending the conference, because these are really smart people that come to these events. They're invited to the event because they're in our database. We only invite subscribers, which means they already have a relationship with closets or cabinet manufacturing, and they've been vetted. So you're going to be in the company of people like yourselves. They're smart, they're ambitious, and they're looking for new things to make their projects better. So next slide, please. And please, if you want to, ask questions or anything, just raise your hand or put it in the chat box, and Amanda will answer those questions or tell me to answer those questions. West Palm Beach, this is like the perfect location for what I consider a boutique event. It's not huge. It's not an IWF in like Atlanta is, where there's just a lot of everything. These are people that are there just to satisfy your needs with their products. So you will be very happy with what's on display. The convention center is across the street from City Park, which is home to so many restaurants and bars and great shopping, and it's walking distance to the beach. So, you know, little pleasure with work isn't a bad thing, because we're all pretty stressed out trying to cross the T's and dot the I's. So even if you just take a minute to walk to the beach and smell that fresh ocean air, I love it. It's my favorite place to go for a trade show. Anyway, I digress. We can move on. So the conference, a lot of this conference program was put together between coordination with or collaboration with our editor, Michelle Bradford, who writes the feature stories in Closets and Organized Storage magazine. If you're not a subscriber, please let me know and we'll get you on the subscription list. But we started off with Chris Keel, who is a really dynamic speaker. He's an economist, which that sounds almost like an oxymoron, you know, that he's dynamic and he's an economist, but he actually is really funny. But he gives you a lot of great information. And with the way, you know, the stock market is like a ping pong ball, and everybody is like, is it a recession? Is it not? Yet we're all making money and we're busy. He's going to give us some good insight as to what to expect down the road. And then we go on with some of our experts, with Christina Relea and Jesse Collins and Gwen Petter, JB Cutting, Ray Howe, Wilsonar, and they'll be talking about modern design, which, you know, that we're starting to see that trend from traditional into the modern, because you've got millennials, and the millennials like things sleek, clean, open. And so people that are not of that generation have to start honing their skills to be able to, you know, prepare projects that speak to them and get them excited. And then we'll talk about video in digital marketing is so important, because you know, that's how the majority of the marketplace consumes their information now. And David Biggs is the digital manager and director at Woodworking Network. He's amazing. He knows his stuff inside and out, and he will be very good at giving you information, as well as having hopefully a very engaged Q&A. And also Alana, is it Ileana or Alana?
Alana,
right? Alana Bell from Optimization Dolls. She's a closet manufacturer, and she's really sharp with social media. So she'll have some really good information. And then something that we all, you know, sometimes kind of struggle with, we use templates from, you know, from Word or something for our contracts, but it's so important to have the right language in a contract, that you're not leaving money on the table when you walk away. And Carlissa, but we call her Carly, Montoya, will be talking about how to do a good contract. And she's from Encore Garages in San Antonio, Texas. This conference is sponsored by Closet Pro Software. You'll see them at the show. They're an amazing company to work with and to be friends with. So moving on. Okay. During the conference day, we take a break and we all jump on buses right around 2 o'clock in the afternoon. And we go off to Closet Lifestyle. And this is a company that doesn't know like the highest bar of excellence, because they do everything to the letter and above. And they never feel like it's quite good enough, because they're constantly trying to make it better. So they have an amazing showroom. They have a manufacturing plant. So I think it's going to be really fun to tour their place. And we thank them for letting us bring about 150 people into their place or more. attendance is very strong. And afterwards, we have a reception, and this will be the first reception that we have, and sponsored again by Closet Pro. And one thing I skipped over that's really important is during the conferences, we break from 12 to 1, and we have an all conference luncheon, which the people that are doing closets and the people that are doing Wood Pro tracks, everybody gets together and has a very it's an engaged conversations at lunch. I mean, everyone looks forward to the lunch. It's plated, you don't have to stand in line. It's good food, and really great conversations happen. Okay.
Hey,
So
Laurel,
yes.
speaking of the two different tracks, the Wood Pro track and the Closet
Yes.
track, people can attend either or session whenever they want throughout the day. They don't have to stick with one and stay with it all day long.
Yeah, and that's a great point, Amanda, because during the Wood Pro track, if you're someone who's looking for more manufacturing tips, they're going to be talking about, like, Ed San Juan is a very successful high-end architectural woodworking firm. They're going to be talking about how you make the decision to buy CNC equipment and take you through the steps. So it's really helpful information. And then the editor for Woodworking Network, Will Sampson, will be talking about the path to professionalism, which is for newer shops or smaller shops. It's great information to just say, you know, you got to cross your T's, you got to dot your I's, and here's some basics to make yourself better. And even if you've been doing it for 20 years, sometimes listening to him, you're like, God, I forgot about that. That's a great tip. So like Amanda said, you can switch back and forth between the tracks. So, and a lot of people do that. So next slide, please.
Yeah. So the reception followed after the plant tours. Let's talk about that a minute.
Okay, so after the plant tour will be hosted by Closet Pro, we have a reception back at the convention center. And this is hosted by the ACSP, who is our sponsors for this webinar. It's a great association. And if you're not a member, you should be, but you should be a member because you got the invitation. And Woodworking Network is the umbrella over the trade show, over the trade magazines, the newsletters that annoy you all the time, but hopefully you get something good out of them too. And we'll be putting on this very nice reception, and that the luncheon during the conference and then the reception after the plant tour, those are your first two networking opportunities, but there's more.
Yeah, and this one is targeted for newcomers, but everyone's invited. So
Everyone's
don't be
invited.
confused by the name of it. Welcome newcomers. It's for everyone so that you can meet people who are first-time attendees. Or if you are a first-time attendee, you can meet past attendees.
And you know, some of us, you know, that have been at these events many times and have been part of the association for a long time, it's good for us to kind of mentor some of these people that come in for the first time, to kind of show them the ropes and just make them feel welcome. So hopefully everyone will take an opportunity to meet a newcomer and introduce yourself.
It'll be immediately following the plant tours at the convention center. So you'll get off the bus and go to the reception. It'll be perfect.
You can grab some drinks, get some food, and then it's early enough that you can then go out for a wonderful dinner across the street and all those restaurants. It's fun. It's great.
And you know what? I forgot when I made these slides. I'm sorry, Laurel, that during this reception, Christina, the president of the ACSP, will be giving a brief state of the industry address. So be sure to attend just to hear what she has to say about what's going on.
Definitely. So on to Thursday. Hopefully everyone shows up on time and they didn't have too much fun Wednesday night. For those that partake in karaoke frequently. I saw you there, Eric. So we start the morning off with the Cabinet Makers Association does a What's Your Problem networking breakfast, and there is a small stipend to attend that. But if you're a conference attendee, the breakfast is included. And we'll start out with Tim Coleman. That's a free keynote that's available to everyone. Everything's taking place at the convention center. And one thing I didn't mention is the hotel, the Hilton Hotel. Unfortunately, it's already sold out. So if you haven't made your hotel reservations, you're going to have to look for others. And we had a really great rate there. That's probably why it's sold out so fast. But we took over the hotel. It's kind of fun. But it's attached to the convention center, so it's real easy for going back and forth. So another reason why it's ideal. Our first keynote starts at 9 o'clock, and that's my marketing pyramid with Tim Coleman. He is a really good speaker and gives you great information for sales and marketing and how to address your bottom line and really know what you're spending, what you're making. It's just invaluable information that you can't put a price tag on it, because you're going to walk away with something that's going to help you immediately. After that, on the show floor, well, actually the show opens at 10 a.m. and we go into the advanced designer clinics, which are right on the expo floor. And again, those have a price tag that you can register for them. But if you have a ticket to the conferences, it's free. And this is something where you talk about, like lighting so big in closets, garages, cabinetry. And but there's a lot of intricacies that go into installing lighting. And making sure that you have, the right outlets and you have the electricity. Do you need an electrician? And do you need separate permits? There's just a lot of things that go into lighting. But they also talk about weird shapes, because nobody's house is perfectly square, unless it was built today. But if you have any home that's, more than 25 years old, it's going to have weird shapes. It's going to have weird closets. It's going to have odd rooms where you've got ductwork and things coming down. And this is a clinic that's going to help solve problems and be inspirational and give you new ideas for working with these types of projects.
And the new thing this year with the designer clinic and the designer discussions is that we're going to be taking booth tours during it. Exactly. So we'll actually talk what we're talking about during the clinic. We'll go and show you exhibitors who are showcasing those products.
No. Yes. Sorry, I have two big doggies. If they start barking, please don't hate me. I got one right here. Then moving on the show floor, Will Sampson will be doing a presentation of a benchmark study that we have been carrying on since the beginning of January. We did one large study, and then after that, we've been doing some mini surveys, and it's about the state of the industry and a way to be able to benchmark the industry from year to year. So he will give the first kind of data from those studies on the show floor at 1 o'clock on Thursday. So there should be some really good information that you can take from that. And there's also ACSP certification going on. There's installer certification as well as designer certification. And that also, you have to register for that through the registration portal.
Yep. And if you've already registered and you can't figure out how to go back into your registration, you are allowed to pay for that on the show floor at the same rate, the 40% discounted rate for everyone. And you just have to stop by the booth before the test starts at 3 p.m. on Thursday.
And is that at the registration booth or the ACSP booth?
The ACSP booth.
Okay. All right.
Yep.
All right. So moving on. And after a full day of learning and walking the show, we have our wonderful Top Shelf Designer Awards Gala. And we roll out the red carpet for these amazing designers. They make it difficult for the judges every year. And if you haven't already seen the finalists, please go to closets-storage.com, and you can see all of the entries that made the final cuts online, and then the winners will be announced of each of their categories at the reception. And it's heavy hors d'oeuvres, hot hors d'oeuvres, open bar, and it's really fun. Hannah, the link is closets-storage.com. And if you get lost, it's on the Woodworking Network site. You can just click on closets and it'll take you to the landing page. Okay. And the one thing I want to tell you about this year's expo floor, because this has been, it's really fun. I started Closets Magazine and the trade show all in October of 2004. And this year in 2023, almost our 20-year anniversary, we have the largest floor plan. We have the biggest running machinery pavilion where there will be machinery demonstrations every day. We have more materials people, more board products. All the main hardware companies are represented. You'll see them all. And it's just going to be a really fun time to walk that show. So I behoove you to make sure you stop at every single exhibitor's booth, talk to them, thank them for supporting the association as well as the industry, because we couldn't do this without them. Okay. The expo. So I kind of preempted that, but we have another keynote on Friday morning. Andrew Wadhams of Wadhams Group. He used to be the president of California Closets. He has some amazing insights into the industry, and he knows customer experience and how to meet their expectations. And obviously in a very demanding environment, because there's more competition than there ever was. So if you don't exceed the expectations, if you're not getting some of those word of mouth referrals, it's going to be difficult to compete. But if you are exceeding expectations and people are talking about you and you're doing the marketing and the social media, you can make a lot of money in this business. And there's quite a few people you'll be able to meet that can tell you that's true. On the show floor on Friday, we have Eric Marshall. You can see him over there, and he's also watching this presentation. The Closet Guru, and Derek Holland, the Closet Doctor. The two of them, which, holy cow, are teaming up. You've got, combined, you've got what, 80 years of experience. It's maybe not quite that much. They're younger than I am, so we'll put it at 60. But they're going to be doing installation 2.0 and 3.0. So some of it will be, just working in the customer's home and addressing weird things that come up during the job. And then the 3.0 is going to be talking about some of the harder installations, like installing a Murphy wall bed, which they will do. I shouldn't say Murphy because it's not necessarily a Murphy. It's a wall bed. And they'll be showing you how to do some of these like home office, wall beds, ways to make rooms multifunctional. So it's going to be a lot of fun. You can expect a lot of fun. and learning a lot of good things. I'll leave you there, but expectations are high for this. No pressure, Eric. And then at the end of the event, we close at 3 o'clock on Friday, so exhibitors can tear down and go home to their families for the weekend. And all of you great attendees can mingle around and stay the weekend, enjoy Palm Beach, go golfing, go to the beach. There's just a lot to do there, obviously. And we have a reception to just appreciate you, to appreciate our attendees, our exhibitors, and all the people that work so hard to make this happen. So it's just light refreshments and just another networking opportunity to get to know each other. And the vendors obviously are invited as well. So that kind of wraps it up. I am open to any questions, and you can get your reduced registration using the code VIP ACSP 23. That is all caps. The show landing page is closetscon.com. And what else do we need to know?
I think that covers it. Thank you, Laurel. Does anyone have any questions about what we covered or something else you were wondering about the event? I see a few
things in chat here. The designer clinic is from 11 to 1.
Mm-hmm.
And the installer clinic is the same, 11 to 1. And let's see, Hannah, I don't know, did I get you that? It's closets.storage.com is where you can get the finalists for the Top Shelf Design Awards. And when I say it's a gala, it doesn't mean you have to wear, it's not black tie only, believe me, but it's out on the lawn, it is outside, and it's just really beautiful. So any other questions? And we're super excited to welcome you all in sunny Palm Beach. And you can always reach me at Laurel@woodworkingnetwork.com, and Laurel spelled Laurel.
Thank you, Laurel. Thank you very much, Laurel. And thank you everyone for joining us. And we look forward to seeing you all in a few weeks.
Thanks for having me. Bye.